Good morning, everybody. My name is Vin Buchner, a senior at DeSoto High School, and I'd like to welcome everyone to this special live program with Tasha Schuh. Tasha spoke to our student body last year, and we are thrilled to have her back with us again. Tasha will share with us a special program she has developed for schools, one that is being implemented around the state. Joining me today are 6 other students who will assist us in our conversation with Tasha. The rest of the student body will be watching this program with teachers in their homerooms. Tasha, we have new students in a whole new 6th grade who did not get to have the opportunity to hear you speak last year. Because of this, you will please share with us about what occurred when you were in high school that was life-changing for you.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to be here with you this morning, and thank you so much for inviting me to this special time, as this is what I love to do and what I love to share. And so what happened to me when I was in high school, I was actually a junior. It was my junior year, November of my junior year, and it's a really long story, but to make it short, I was really involved in my high school's theater program. And we were practicing for The Wizard of Oz this year. We had 3 more nights until our opening night. And so everything was extremely chaotic, and we were not ready for the curtain to go up. But what really happened was, as we were rehearsing, I was standing on stage helping with a scene change, when from directly behind me, they removed the cover off of the trapdoor on stage. And for those of you who don't know what a trapdoor is, it's a hole in the floor about 8 feet long and 4 feet wide. And I had no idea that this had just been opened. Someone told me to move out of the way, and I took 1 step backward and instantly began falling. And I actually fell 16 feet to a cement floor, where I landed on the back of my head. And my head came first, my body came second, and the only thing in between was my neck. So I severely crushed my spinal cord and broke my C5 vertebrae. And now the doctors told me that I would be a quadriplegic. And that's been my journey since the accident.
Hi Tasha, I'm Macy Pavick, and I'm a 6th grade student at DeSoto Middle School. Following your injury, what type of therapy did you receive initially?
Thank you so much for asking. That's a great question. I was actually in the hospital for almost 6 months. And in those 6 months, I received a lot of therapy, of physical therapy, which focused on strengthening my muscles, the muscles that I had, and keeping my legs and my body from the parts of my body that I couldn't move from atrophying. And I also received occupational therapy, which was something I had never heard of. I didn't know there was such a thing when I had my accident, but occupational therapy really focuses on keeping you as independent as possible. And so in occupational therapy, I learned how to do my makeup. I learned how to feed myself. I learned how to write. I learned how to do the things that I would be able to do when I went home. Great question.
Good morning, Tasha. I'm Desiree Stiver, and I'm a junior. With the injury you sustained, what helped you cope during the first 6 months of recovery?
So in the first 6 months, I was actually thinking about this over the last couple days. There were a couple things that really helped me cope. First of all was my friends and my family. I had an amazing support system of just my family really surrounded me and were there for me. My sister didn't even leave the hospital for the first month after my accident. And pretty much my mom moved to the Ronald McDonald House 2 blocks down from the hospital, so was there the entire time that I was in Rochester. And so amazing friends, amazing family, I also look back and I see that I had a lot of friends that were goofy. And I think laughter is really what helped me cope and helped me. Because I had so many moments where I was so sad and I was so depressed and I was so just afraid for my future. And that laughter is really what helped me cope. My friends doing goofy things to get me to laugh. And also, I just had a really great care team of nurses and therapists that had so many other patients go through this. And so meeting other people with spinal cord injuries, seeing what their experience was, and learning from that. And so those really were the things that really helped me cope right after my injury.
Hi, Tasha. I'm Grace Morrison, and I'm a freshman. Would you mind sharing what you felt to be one of the turning points for you in your recovery and moving forward? Was it gradual, or was it more of like an aha moment?
Yeah, for me, it was definitely gradual. I feel like I had a few aha moments, but overall, it was very, very gradual. I look back and today I meet with a lot of people who have been recently injured, have new injuries. And this is something that I talk to them a lot about because people think like it's going to be this great aha moment. And it usually isn't, because having a spinal cord injury just really forces, it's just so much change. And so you can have 3 good days and then 2 bad days, and then 2 good days and 1 bad day. It's kind of like a roller coaster in the beginning. And so for me, it was very gradual in the fact that I began to see the importance of what I was thinking about, because I was really struggling with a lot of negative thoughts, a lot of thoughts that were telling me that my life was over, there was no use in me trying, that I was going to be a burden on my family for the rest of my life. And so I had to really slowly learn how and find out the truth that I wasn't a burden, that I did still have a future, that I was here for a reason. And it was in those times that helped me gradually learn the truth. And so definitely a gradual time of recovery.
Good morning, Tasha. I'm Bryce Schultz, and I'm in 7th grade. Could you share with us if you still have to do regular physical therapy, or if you have mental health counseling at this point in your life?
That's a great question. So for me, I still do not do physical therapy or occupational therapy that I did in the beginning, but I do range of motion stretches on my legs, both morning and night, so it allows my legs to stay limber and keep them from atrophying, which is atrophying is when your legs and your body like loses the muscle mass. And so if you look at my legs, they're pretty normal. They're pretty they haven't atrophied much, and I really attribute that to the stretches and the range of motion that I do both morning and night. And mental health therapy, I think that's something that is always ongoing. I mean, I don't see like a therapist or a counselor, but I have friends, I have a good support team. I have my husband I think that's always ongoing, of just bouncing ideas off of each other and say, I'm really struggling with this. Can you help me? Or how can I get through this? And so I think that's especially during COVID-19, this is something that, I love my life and I am thankful that my accident happened, but we all go through challenges. We all go through struggles, and COVID-19 was something that none of us could have prepared for. And our speaking schedule was completely wiped clean. And I love speaking. That's really what fills my bucket. And so over these months, I've had to really surround myself with my team of people to make sure that I'm staying healthy and to make sure that they're staying healthy. And so So that's a great question. And I think that that's something that we all have to do in these times.
Okay. Good morning, Tasha. I'm Keynes Thompson, a sophomore. Would you share with us why you made the choice to talk about your injury, the challenges you faced and may still face in your life? In doing so, what do you hope to accomplish?
Awesome. Thank you. So for me, before the accident, I mean, this kind of goes back to my life even before the accident, was that I've always, in looking at what I wanted to do with my life, I've always wanted to help people. Whenever I thought about what I wanted to do in my future, it was just all about helping. And when I had my accident, I thought, oh my goodness, now I won't be able to help people. I'm going to be in this wheelchair. There's no way I could help anyone now that I've had my accident. And yet, when I went to college and I had a professor ask me to speak in his class, and I saw how many people were touched by my story. And I'll tell you, my story wasn't all that inspirational at that point. It was just about a year or two after my accident. But I saw that people were touched, and I thought, wow, I might be able to help people see that, life's all about perspective. I might be able to help people live a better life. And as I began to overcome so many things in my journey, I thought, I have to share this. I have to share how much I love my life. I have to share what I've learned and what I've accomplished and what I've overcome, because I think I can really help people. I didn't think I'd be able to do this. And now that I see that I am, I want to really share that with the world. And so that's exactly why I speak. It's why I just want to make a difference in this world and help others.
Tasha, what advice would you give to someone who has their own physical or emotional problems?
It's a great question. And, I have thought about this so much over the last couple of days over this question, because there is so much that I would want to say. I could probably spend the rest of the day on this question. But today, if you have physical or emotional problems, I just want to encourage you to, first of all, love yourself. To know that it's okay to be different, to know that it's okay to be unique. When I had my accident, I should even say before my accident, when I looked in the mirror, I hated what I saw. And I did not have any disabilities. And I was not a friend to myself. And after the accident, when people would stare at me in the community, when I would go out, I felt like a freak. I felt like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go out in my home because I look so different from everyone else. And yet I began to see that by going out into the community, I was educating the community, and I was showing them that I could still move on. I could still live a good life. And so I think it's really important. And over the years, I've seen just the importance of embracing our uniqueness, that knowing that it's okay to be different, and it's good to be different. And so love yourself, be a friend to yourself, and also know that you can overcome anything you put your mind to. I mean, when I had my accident, they told me, you won't be able to do this, you won't be able to do that. And my mind said, I won't be able to do that, I won't be able to do that. And I have overcome all of those struggles, all of those challenges. I've accomplished all of those dreams and more. And so don't limit yourself. Know that the sky is the limit, and know that you can do anything you put your mind to, and determine that you are going to live a good life, a quality life, no matter what physical or emotional struggles that you have.
Why did you decide to create the PEP curriculum?
So for me, so in 2014, we really shifted. Prior to 2014, I was speaking mostly at corporate events, healthcare events. And in 2014, my best friend from high school lost her 14-year-old son to suicide. And we really shifted everything because we saw so many students that were struggling. We saw that youth were having a lot of challenges, and we wanted to make a difference in that. And so as we began speaking at schools, we began seeing so many principals and so many school counselors just ask us if we had resources, and just them sharing the lack of resources that were out there about mental health awareness and suicide awareness. And so we took 2 years to create this curriculum, because I love speaking. I love coming in to share my message, but there's so much more. In 45 minutes, I can only share so much. And I have so many things that have helped me get to where I am today that I know could help students. And so that's what we really poured into the PATH curriculum, so that I can help students get a better foundation on their mental health that can help them be resilient and help them have the tools that they need in their journey to get through difficult times.
Hi, Tasha. I'm Ellie George, a senior. And what are the main topics or big ideas that will be covered in your curriculum?
So if you remember, and for those of you who were there last year, I spoke on the power of PATH, which is purpose, attitude, team, and hope, which are the 4 things that helped me get through my journey, that helped me cope, that helped me really get to where I am today. And the curriculum is based on those 4 same concepts. So it's 6 lessons. The first lesson is an introduction, and the last lesson is kind of a recap of everything that you've learned. And in between, lesson 2 is purpose. Lesson 3 is the power of attitude. Lesson 4 is the importance of having a team. And lesson 5 is the power of hope. And so those are the things that I cover in the curriculum, and share a lot more of my personal examples and what I've learned in my journey in each one of those lessons. So we have videos and lots of things that can help you learn more about my journey.
Alrighty, thank you, Tasha. We're going to try to wrap this up with one last question. What can students expect to experience or do when they're working on the PATH topic?
Well, I think more than anything, and again, I was looking over this question, trying to think how I could sum it up, because I could talk about this all day. But for me, we have a variety of strategies. So when you are working on the curriculum, you're going to see that it's both reflective work, personal work, where it's just you looking at yourself, looking at your strengths, your gifts, your talents. And then there's lots of group activities. There's games, there's things that get the students, get you up, get you active. And because I don't know about you, but when I was in school, I always loved when we would play games that would help me learn. I felt like that was the best way that I would retain the information. And then we go back to more of a reflective time of journaling and reflecting on what you learned in each lesson. But also, we've got lots of great resources and things that make this curriculum. It's not only about my story, but it's about mental health, suicide awareness, and really social emotional learning. So ways to help you cope, ways to help you learn how to be resilient, which resilience means that you're able to withstand or get through difficult times. And so the curriculum is going to give you those tools so that when things like this happen, like COVID-19, or a relationship ends, or you lose a job, or whatever comes into your life, you'll say, I can get through this. I can do this because I was given the tools in this curriculum.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. So this concludes our program today. On behalf of DeSoto Middle and High School student body, we'd like to thank Tasha for joining us this morning. Just for everyone's information, Tasha will be joining us 6 more times as we work through the PATH curriculum. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you for having me. Have a wonderful day.
You too, Tasha. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wish we can only see you guys.